You have to be willing to leave them. So this is something that I realized a little late. Um, I thought in the past I always thought that this is really important. By the way, because I'm going to throw out some tips for the average guy um, to help him out. I always thought that when it came to attracting women, going out on dates and stuff, that you just kind of be honest and you kind of follow through with your plans and stuff, and things will work out. But that's not really how it works. Um, Women nowadays, they have too many options. Well, they've always had a lot of options, but now they have a whole hell of a lot of options. Um, but you always have to be willing to leave them and just kind of ignore them and just disappear. But the other thing is, whenever, so it's really important. The reason why I say it's important to be always be willing to leave is because um, they're always willing to leave you, and they don't really have any emotional attachments because they have too many options, right? It's like nowadays the average person has too many options to treat people decent. They have so many options to speak and deal with other people. Uh, uh, Now, specifically women, right? Especially women, they have so many options that the idea of treating the average man decent never crosses their mind. They just kind of move on, and they don't even know. In the back of your head, you're thinking, "Whoa, man, they know they did this wrong to me, and this was awful." No, in the back of their head, they're completely gone, blipped off the map. Now, you in your head, you're like, "Oh God, this was awful." It was because you were trying to work on one person, one, two, three people, right? So then, here's the problem: it creates a loop. It's almost like it's encouraging you to become a terrible person because you start to think to yourself, okay, I got to talk to like 10 and juggle like five or six in conversation, because if I focus on one, like a decent, earnest person, guess what? She could blip me off the map. So that happened to me. I was texting a girl, I was making plans, stuff like that. I ran into her, I approached her, started talking to her. We were about to go out, and it never happened. Um, what ended up happening is she did this thing called the counter date, where the day before she said, "Hey, I'm not going to be able to make it, but hey, let's plan for next week because I was out of town," or something like that. And I said, "Okay, cool, let's do that." But then here's the problem. This was one of those. This is, well, it's a kiss of death, right? But it's a kiss of death. It's like a reversal. So instead of just flaking out and ghosting you, she kind of like prolongs the suffering. It's really fucked up. But chicks will do this. So in my opinion, or this is what I did. I say, okay, I'll see you next week, right? Then next week I started making plans, and then I got ghosted. So this is something that I just suggest you try. So if she texts back and says, "Hey man, like hey, this isn't going to work. Let's try doing it another day," or something like that. She's going to expect you to come back happy, right? Like, "Oh, yes, now she wants to go out with me," and stuff like that. Don't do that. Just ignore and lose her number. Here's what's one or two things going to happen. So she'll either text back, uh, maybe she'll make plans, or she just won't. But it was kind of a, now trust me, she's looking at the phone. She's waiting to see if you're going to message. They always have their phones. A lot of times it's a lot of times like they have so many options, they try to screen you out. They're not like treating you like a human being. It's like a machine, right? You're just an option that's being crossed out of like you're like another 1 out of 10 guys, right? You're just being crossed out the mix. It's messed up, but you really got to start treating them a lot colder, and you got to stop treating them like human beings. You got to treat them like they're a little bit beneath you, right? You can't treat them like you're equal, because they're not your equal. Because here's the problem, right? Second you treat them like an equal, they're gonna treat you like you're beneath them. So just understand that if you ever get a woman and instead of going out on a date, like you propose a date via text or you call them on the phone, propose a date. Um, if she makes an excuse or something like that, just say, hey, you know what? This isn't going to work out. Just straight up, like, cut it. Now, uh, I know it sounds bad, but the way you'll be able to do it more firmly is just by having like 5 or 6 or 7 different numbers and just communicate with more multiple people. And I understand it feels a little disingenuous to speak with multiple people. Um, it feels bad to be talking to like 6 or 7. It feels like maybe you're leading women on and stuff. But thing is, man, like the dating game, it's very cutthroat and it's claimed a lot of lives. You got a lot of men who've literally given up on life because of the dating game. You can't really focus on being honest and nice and all of that stuff, right? It's very cutthroat. You could easily lose the dating game. It's a tryout, right? And here's the thing: you're the one that's got to step up to the plate. Women, they're like if it's a casino, it's like they're the slot machine or they're the guy who's dealing out the cards. But that's the thing: the house always wins. So the only way you're gonna win is if you learn how to count cards. So you just got to kind of get with the program. Um, so get with the program. There's little tricks. There's little things you can do to succeed, and that's partly why I'm here. I approach women. I chat with women. I know everybody has this. Oh no, just stay away from a mentality. That's fine. This is just what I do. Being more honest about it. I chat them up. I talk to them, and this is just what I've learned. So again, for the sake of this video, if you ever get a counter date and she says, "Hey, let's do it a different day" or something like that, or she flakes and say, "There's another thing they'll say like rain check." So if you ever get the rain check text from a chick, if you ever get the text where they ask you where you're going and you let them know where they don't first off don't let them know where you're going. Just say, you know what, I'm actually good. And whenever they say rain check, don't respond to that. Just leave that dead. Don't say anything to that. Trust me. If they're rescheduling stuff, it just means that they don't actually like you're in the testing phase, right? And it's too volatile. Um, you're gonna lose that battle. There's 5 or 6 different methods that she's got to weed you out, and the only way to win that game is not to play. So yeah, um, do what you want, but that's just my opinion on that. If you ever get the text for a rain check, do not respond to that. I'm actually going to make that the next video.